I'm not sure if I'm live yet, so I'm gonna look at my I'm gonna look at my channel and see. So I'm gonna look at my I'm gonna look at Okay, apparently I'm live. How's everybody doing? I'm trying to get all this stuff squared away here so I can read comments. Okay, man, some of you guys must just hang out on YouTube all the time to just watch this to see this pop up like this. Hey everybody, what's going on? I don't have anything to say. I do this about twice a year. I get on and just go live and no reason. I don't have anything to say. I just figure, it's something I should do on YouTube. And the reason I don't get on a lot is because I really don't have anything to say. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hey, so if anybody wants to come on with me, send me an email at dixiecryptid@gmail.com. I'll send you a link. You can come in here and you can come on live with me. Tell your story. Say Merry Christmas to everybody. Whatever you want to do. I'll keep my email account open here. And what I'll do is I'll email you back a link. You click the link, then you come in with me. And you have to have a web camera and some kind of microphone. You can do it on your phone. It's best to do it with earplugs or earphones, so you don't have mic feedback and all that stuff. So I don't have, like I said, I don't really have anything to say. I'm just getting on to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I just uploaded a video. As soon as I get off here, get off this live feed, it's going to go live. It's Christmas stories. That's all it is. And one chapter out of audio book that Jack LaFountain and I just released called Tracks. It's a audio book with 4 hour to hour and a half long short stories that he wrote based on real encounters that that he studied and researched a little bit. So that's what that's all about. Darren, I love you too, man. Much love. All right. I'm just going to try to read some of the comments and I know I look distracted, but I'm watching my email. If somebody wants to come on, come on. Man, this is a community project. dixiecryptid@gmail.com. Have your webcam ready. Have your mic ready. Get your earbuds in. You can use your phone. Get on, tell everybody what's going on. I'll give everybody that comes on 5 minutes. I don't know if anybody's going to even want to do that, but hell, I don't even like doing this live stuff, but so I can't really expect anyone else to do it. Let's see. I'm reading some comments. I'm a trucker and you keep me entertained. Awesome. When I do a lot of these podcasts, truckers are who I'm thinking about because when I'm driving on a long trip, there's nothing better than just listening to something that you can just get into and you don't have to really pay attention to it. You can keep your eyes on the road. And it's better if you go through the podcast. And remember, the podcast is called the What If It's True podcast. And all of these Dixie Cryptid stories for the last 6 months or so going forward, they're on that podcast. And I'm working on, if I ever get some time, to put my whole library on that podcast, and everything's ad free. So you can listen to the What If It's True stories that we do on the What If It's True, plus all of Dixie Cryptid podcast in that one spot. And just whatever podcast app you use, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I've been using Podbean lately. That seems to be a really good app for podcasts. I don't know. It works really well for me. I also use Audible. Audible, you can listen to podcasts on Audible. So, yeah, a lot of people complain about the ads on YouTube. YouTube, that's just what YouTube is. That's how YouTube is YouTube. There wouldn't be a YouTube without advertisers. There can be podcasts without advertisers. The hosts for these podcasts make money a different way. And I haven't figured all that out yet. I just know I can blast out a podcast to 50 different podcast apps in one shot. And it took me a long time to learn how to do that. So where's Steve Lilly? Okay, I talk about this in the video that I'm just about to upload with Christmas stories. I had planned on putting a Steve Lilly story out a couple of weeks ago, maybe back around Thanksgiving. But I just got hammered with work, absolutely hammered with work. And I just couldn't pull up off of it. I had to finish that job. And so I'm trying my best to get a Steve Lilly number 9 up by New Year's Day. And that's my goal. Let's see how that goes. I should be in pretty good shape. I'm scrolling through comments here. Ella Silva says she'll be 60 Monday, and happy birthday to all the other poor souls. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Merry Christmas to everyone who's wishing me Merry Christmas. I get some questions sometimes in emails and in the comment section that I don't really understand. Like here's one here. Magical Swimmer says, how do you come on? I don't know what that means. Merry Christmas, Cam. Love all the Dixie. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could show y'all this meme Carrie Arnold sent me today. It's this poor guy, and he's got a sign that says, "We'll work for Steve Lilly stories." Oh, it's the funniest thing. It cracked me up. I sent it to my wife, and hey, Aaron, Zarin Zapata in Texas. Oh yeah. Hey, Lanita, how's it going? We'll work for Steve Lilly stories. I got one coming. Okay, Michael Egan wants to come on. Michael, I'm going to send you an invite. And we'll give everybody about 5 minutes to come on. I'll send you an invite. All right, there you go, Michael. So what happens is when you click that link, just come on and you'll show up down here. You'll pop up. You'll see me and all that stuff, and then I'll bring you into the studio, and we'll just do it like that. Jack LaFountain, the author who I've recorded 3 audiobooks with him. Hey, Jack, I just want to let you know I dropped a chapter of IRAD in this podcast that's about to go live after this live broadcast. And for the first time in 9 audiobooks, I have a sentence in the IRAD story twice. We can exchange that audio, and I've already got it fixed, but I don't know if it goes back to approval or what, or if it's, as far as I know, the whole book, all 5 hours of the book, there's only one error like that. It really makes me feel unprofessional, but anyway, that's the way it goes. I do my hands a lot, don't I? I do this a lot. I don't know why I use my hands like this all the time. It's like I'm an Italian. Italians do that, I think. So I don't know. Okay, guys, here's Michael. Let me Egan, I think is his last name. We're going to put him in here, see what's going on with Michael. Hey man, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? I love your work, man. So nice to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. How did you stumble on the channel?
Gosh, I don't even know. I think I got linked here because I was listening to some other channel and I got recommended off of it. It was strange but true stories, right?
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I don't know. I've loved Bigfoot stories ever since I was a kid. I lived in the woods a while and I never saw him. I lived in upstate New York and I don't know. There's some sightings up there, so whatever. I
Where
never
are you
got to
at?
see
Where
them.
do you live now, Michael?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh man, you're way up in the Great White North. That's what it feels like to me because I'm way down in Mississippi. So,
Yeah, I wish it was great and white right here, right now. I got a kid, and it's no white Christmas, let me tell you. So, wishes.
so what are you saying?
It's warm.
Oh, it's warm up there. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Well, we're supposed to get 75 degrees Christmas Day, and I'm just thrilled to death with that. So, anyway, oh, you got a cat.
I got a cat. She's a
Leave
pain
him
in
up
my
there,
butt.
man. That's cool.
Next time.
All right. Well, hey, Merry Christmas, Michael. Thanks for
Merry
coming
Christmas.
on. And you have anything else you want to say to the audience or anything?
I don't know. I mean, not really. I guess as far as Bigfoot's concerned, one of the things I always found fascinating is you know, that they're so elusive. Most other animals in the wild, I feel like you'd eventually, with enough people hunting, be able to find them. Makes me think things like a lot of other people think, where it's like maybe they're interdimensional and they can just like pop in and out and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah. Yeah.
something that always interests me, and maybe it would explain some of the weird disappearances that people hear in the national forest and stuff like that too. Some other species coming in, grabbing people up, and then popping into their own world. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows, man? It's like and I don't know that we'll ever know if for some reason they have this omniscient power to do these things that people claim they do, then we're never going to know because no human can do those things, and we can't enter that world, and it's just too far. It's too far over my head to even try to figure out. So,
100%.
well, man, go hug your kids and your family, and I wish you a Merry Christmas, and I
You
appreciate
too.
you coming on. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, buddy. We'll talk to you
All right.
later, man.
See you later.
Bye, Michael. Okay. Hey, we had our first guest online. How about that? Let's see here. I'm going to, it said kick guest from studio. I was just getting him off my screen there. So, all right, let's see. Let's go back to comments. Merry Christmas from an old gal in Georgia. This is Deborah Bruce. Deborah Birdsong. She comments a lot on the channel. I love what you do and you help so many people. Keep up the good work. Well, thanks, Deborah. I don't, that's not the point of me doing this, but I hear people say it helps them, and I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how it helps, but I'm so glad it does. I'm glad you feel that way. Let's see. Here's somebody from South Africa. Michael Ada. Is that how you say your name? Ada? Cameron U. Biscuit. Love from South Africa. Send us a booger for Christmas. Oh man, you guys don't have boogers or Bigfoot in South Africa? I played I may have told this before, but I played when I was in my 30s. I lived in Kentucky and I got I played football through high school and I love the game. And then when you leave football, you kind of miss the contact and the violence of the sport and all that. It had been about 15 years since I'd done anything. Well, a friend of mine said, "Hey man, we play rugby. We have a rugby club here. You should come out and play." And I I went out and play. I went out and tried. I played for a year, and I could never ever understand that game. And there are two different games. I think there's a 4 or 5 man rugby thing. Then there's a 12. I don't know. I don't even know how many guys are on the field. But I played. I never could make the A team, and they I was a 35-year-old guy, and they were putting me on the intramural team, and we went and played college kids. That was pretty fun, hanging with the young Turks. I enjoyed that. And they got on to me the way we tackle that. In American football, when you tackle somebody, you drive through them, you try to cut them in half. And then rugby, you're supposed to kind of cowboy them down. That's what we called it, kind of wrangle them down and pull them to the ground. And if we did that in American football, the coaches would kick our butts. I mean, absolutely kick our butts. And so, anyway, all that to say, there were two guys that had come over here on a work visa from South Africa, and they were the fastest white boys I have ever seen in my life, especially one of them. I mean, I've never seen a human as fast as this guy. I could never catch him. I'd be right in front of him and he'd just go right by me. And it's like just a blur. And I've never seen a human that fast. Now I know there are, but it was, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with those guys. And those South Africans, we would all go to the pub after rugby practice or a rugby match. They're not games, they're called matches. And those guys could drink more beer than any human I've ever seen. They're like superhuman beer drinking. Maybe they run from cheetahs over there. I don't know what it is, but so anyway, that's and I love their accent, that Afrikaans accent. I don't know the history of the language there, but it's a real interesting accent. But they spoke English and they were very proficient in English. So let's see how many people we got in here. 314. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm gonna read through some comments. See, this is where I run out of things to say. That's why I don't like doing this stuff. But let's see. I saw a big one here. Oh, Michael, I can't believe you read my message. Legend, best Xmas Christmas present ever. These yeah, we got Solid Oaks here. Love. Thanks, Michael. Okay, Lanita, see, that's a comment. Is this my Irene? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you're not talking to me. I don't know, probably. Hit the likes for Cam. Okay, yeah, hit the likes. Hit the likes, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let's start a Steve Lilly chant. Oh, man. I kind of came up with a, I'm working on a novel. It's a long form novel for him that I get to write on about, I don't know, maybe an hour a week at this rate. It'll be 10 years before I get it done. But I kind of came up with this little catchphrase for him. And hey, Shelly Reed. Shelly's one of my good friends. Shelly's with the Sawdust Beast Group, Larry Porch and Mark Newble and Debbie Jones and that crew. And Shelly's always so nice to me. Matter of fact, she invited me to a camp out this spring. I'm kind of anxious to go, hoping I can go. I got to go to one in the fall. Got kind of cold that night, actually. I was a little chilly. Jeff Howell. He's ordered so much from Yeti bars that they've given me a specialized address title. That's cool, man. Those guys at Yeti bars, I wish one of them would send me an email and get on with me. Hey, Yeti brothers, if you guys if you guys are watching this or come across this, I'm going to get one of you guys on. You can do it with your phone. I've got new software here so we don't get screwed up on OBS like we tried to interview you last time. Let's see, a bunch of people have come in. If you want to come on for 5 minutes, send me an email at dixiecryptid@gmail.com. I'll send you back a link. You can come in. You have to have a webcam, a microphone with earplugs, and come on in. We just had Michael come in, and he just wanted to tell everybody hi. He's from Rhode Island. Don't be shy. Come on in. Come on. See, somebody's asking how much property do I own? Not much, about 20 acres. Okay, Melanie Smith says she got her Yeti bar, her Dixie Cryptid Yeti bar. Melanie, do you like that patchouli kind of fragrance. I didn't know women would like that. I like it. I like it. I really like the glacier bar. I like the color and the way it smells. My wife came in today, and it's me and a bunch of dogs in here when I'm working in here. And she actually did say this. She said, "This whole office smells like smoke from you or not smoke." She said, "Your whole office smells like soap." It's I'm like, "I don't have any soap in here. What are you talking about?" Because sometime when I get an order in, I'll just lay it here on the corner of my desk, and it just makes the office smell great. Just the soap sitting there. It's like you don't need air fresheners or anything. Just put a bar of soap out. But she said, "No, it's from you taking a shower this morning. I can smell the whole office smells like it." And that's not to say that the Yeti bars are that strong, that it's just this, it's a weird thing. It's a scent that just kind of lingers on you, but it's not overpowering because I can't deal with those real powerful scent. Let's see, I got an email. I don't know if this is okay, Gabe. Gabe wants to come on for a few minutes. I'll send you a link, Gabe. Now, you guys, when you come on here, y'all be nice. I'll boot your ass out of here, but I think everybody will be nice. Okay, here's a link. I'm gonna send it to Gabe. I don't know why I'm doing this. It just hit me at the last minute. Hey, I can send a link and people can get on with me. That takes all the heat off of me. Let's see. Got 350 people still in here. Come on, get on. 350 people will watch you say what you want to say. Don't be scared. Come on. Gustavo, greetings from Chile. Chile. Love your stories. What is going on in Chile, man? South America. That is I think that's the home of the Inca tribes. I've been reading a lot about the Spanish conquest, and Chile is, Peru is the big one. Mexico, Peru, Central America, Colombia, all those areas. I don't know. I know people in Chile speak Spanish, so obviously Chile was conquered by Spain at some point. I'm wondering what the Spanish influence in there. But anyway, somebody from Chile, that's awesome. Love you in your channel. Notice the 2020 bat quarter to your left. I'm not sure what that means. Kevin wants to know to my wife or get that sandblasting done. Yeah, she got it done. I got those engines painted. Bunch of Cummins diesel blocks, man. I got them painted up. Somebody commented on a video recently and they said that my wife is my lawnmower pilot. That's what they called her. And I showed it to her and she was tickled at that. And she she said, "That's what you can call me now. You can call me your lawnmower pilot." And I'm like, okay. I don't ask my wife to do that kind of stuff. She kind of likes doing it. And she'll get out on this zero turn and she'll cut grass all day. I'm gonna have to get her a new seat because it bounces her. It's not real comfortable. It's not real comfortable. I have to wear my sports bra when I when I ride on the zero turn. Hey, somebody from Austria. No way. No way. Austria. Is that where Arnold Schwarzenegger is from? My wife and I were talking about that the other day. I think he's from Austria. Alexander, man, so nice to hear from you. People keep putting Steve Lilly in the comment section. I told y'all I don't have anything to say. I'm just rambling. I'm just running my mouth. That's all I'm doing. Watching from Scotland, Cornelius. Oh, Cornelius, I get your comments a lot. Thank you for watching. I love the Scottish accent. They're awesome. They're awesome. Okay, Gabe, I got you, but I don't have an image. I'll put you in here. Let's see if we can get some sound. Gabe, can you hear me?
Hey, hey, Cam.
Hey, what's going on, man? You don't have a video feed?
Sorry, man. I do not.
No, that's okay. How you doing?
Oh man, I just love all your broadcasts, and I'm happy to be on.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Where do you live, Gabe?
I'm up in Oregon. I've lived in rural Oregon for most of my life.
Or do
Out in Tillamook, I've had some Bigfoot encounters, but I was surprised to have some Bigfoot encounters out here, just like 20 minutes outside of Portland.
Oh, you've had some encounters.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's awesome. I'll tell you this. I've wanted to get people on here to talk about their encounters, but I can never find anyone who has this technology. I used to do emails by phone and I would record it via Bluetooth through my machine, and the audio was horrible. I think I did 20 interviews and they were all by phone. I got so many complaints on that audio that I just quit doing them. But I would do them on here. And dude, if you want to come back on and tell us about your encounters, we can't do it now, but we'll do it another time if you'd like.
Oh, sure. I mean, I can give you the most relevant one, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You want to do that now?
Sounds good.
Go for it.
You know, I'm 34 now, but when I was a young child, we were living out in Tillamook. There's a huge forest out there in Western Oregon, and I got scared because I was sleeping next to this window and I saw some red eyes looking in, and to me, I thought it was an alien, right?
I would
But
too.
and after I saw him that night, I actually ended up sleeping in the same bed as my father. He actually put duct tape right down the middle of the bed. He goes, "You sleep on that side, and I'll sleep on this side."
Yeah. Yeah.
But we would travel. We would get up early in the morning, like 4:30, and in front of the van, there would be this tree, and it would be shaken back and forth, and it was making this sound, and I was sick, so I didn't know what to think of it. But my dad said, "Oh, it's just some like Africanized bird or something." But it was making these kind of chirps and all this stuff, and this happened for about a couple weeks, and we would regularly put our leftover food outside for the animals to get, and in particular we put out a watermelon, and we noticed that watermelon, it wasn't eaten by like raccoons or something. It was it was like a big nail, like a big fingernail, just scooped it right off the rind. And
Oh,
when we found it like 40, 50 feet from where we usually put it. Well, one morning, uh, I was getting ready like usual, and my dad went out to start the truck, warm it up, whatever. He came back in, and he's a Vietnam vet. He's pretty, uh, you know, and anyway, he came back in and he was shaken, and he was reaching for his gun. He said, "Stay the bleep inside," right?
right.
Well, he went out there, did a couple loops around the van, and came back in and said, "Okay, get in the bleeping van." Well, he told me that when he started the van and he turned the headlights on, 10 feet in front of him was this female Bigfoot in full sight, super clear. And as soon as he turned the lights on, she threw her hands up and started doing this sound. And then she just ran faster than he's ever seen. He said that she must have been running like 35, 40 miles an hour down the
So
road.
he actually had a visual. He saw all this.
He really did. And after that incident, we actually never saw her again.
Man, the actual I'm trying to send another guy an email. I know it looks like I'm not paying attention, but I am. A visual is we hear a lot of stories about people seeing them, but I'm going to tell you, probably 60% of the stories that people send me, they don't have a visual. They just have the sounds or smells or all the other things that are pretty typical with Bigfoot encounters. To have a actual visual is really, I think, pretty rare. So I mean that's unreal that he actually saw one. And
It was
you
it
have
was
more encounters?
Oh, it's so weird because I would have thought that was the only one, but I lived in Tillamook at that time. Um, I actually moved down to Santa Cruz, California, and I didn't realize that that's a hot spot. There's actually there's like a 20-foot Bigfoot statue carved out of wood down there. I had no idea, but my girlfriend and I were sleeping in a trailer at the time, and at like midnight we just heard this scream, something I've never ever heard in the woods. And then uh we heard like a deer just whelping, like the deer was just uh it was like it was getting tortured. It was something else. And then I moved back up to Oregon after living in Santa Cruz for a while. And out here, last Christmas, there was a giant snowstorm, lasted a few days. And then right after the snowstorm, there was a freezing rain episode that happened. Well, I was going for a walk out in the woods, and I on the trail there, I had been following some footsteps that were from another hiker, and they were, like an inch down in the snow, whatever. But then just there was a down tree, and so the canopy was open in that area, and I looked down and I saw like a size 18 footprint. And I actually reached down because the freezing rain, it was about 4 inches down in the snow, but the freezing rain filled that footprint up, and I had a perfect ice cast of
Oh
a big
wow.
footprint.
Oh wow, that's cool. That is
But
so cool.
it's not
You
something
didn't
that you can
preserve it,
just,
could you?
yeah, there's no way to bring it home, but I
Right.
saw it.
Oh, that would be awesome. That
And
would be awesome.
it went straight, instead of following the trail, it went straight down the gully. It walked down, straight down. I followed the tracks for about 100 feet, so that it wasn't just one, there were a lot of tracks, but there's no way to bring that home.
Oh man. I've never heard that before. I'm always looking for things that I've never heard. And I know you didn't do it, but it's brilliant to me. It's like here's a footprint and then the ice falls in it and makes a perfect cast. I mean, that's awesome. In the snow, right? In the snow.
Yeah, it was something else. I could see all five toes, and it was obviously something heavy because my footprints only went in like an inch, and this thing was like 4 inches deep, just perfect cast.
Right. Right.
I've actually been up to that same area late at night, and I heard what I would describe as like a chimpanzee. It, and it was like calling. It did this like a woo 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 kind of
Right.
sound.
Right.
And so you know I know they exist because I've had all these encounters. So I replied back, and it replied back.
Oh man, that's awesome. And you live in the state where there are probably as many or more encounters in Oregon as anywhere in the United States. Although I will say, Southern people down here claim they see them a lot, and so who knows? But you're in the classic, you're in the classic Pacific Northwest. Gabe, I've got somebody waiting on the sideline here. I want to thank you for coming on. It, I, like I said, this is just kind of a whim. I don't know. I just thought about it when we came on, but I'm enjoying this. I enjoyed hearing your stories, and keep in touch with me, and maybe we can go into detail on one of these for a future podcast. That sound okay?
You bet, Cam. I really appreciate you having me on.
Okay, Gabe. Good to meet you. I appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk to you
Take care.
soon. All right. Bye. All right. Like I said, we've got Dan, the Welshman Dan, standing on the sideline here. I'm about to bring him in, but for people who are just coming in, I just got on a whim. I had a couple of hours to kill tonight. I thought I would get on, and just an idea popped in my head, because I can send a link to people and they can come right in on this live feed. And we're about to have our third person on. So that's what's going on. None of this is planned. This is all, here I am doing my hands again. I don't know why I do this a lot. I don't do this in real life. Just when I'm on here, I just do my hands around a lot. But let's bring Dan in and see what's going on. He says he's a Welshman. I wonder if he's got the accent. Dan, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
Where's the Welsh accent? Do you have one?
Well, where I live, it's been very diluted with those from over the border. So the Welsh accent is pretty weak around here. But a lot of people will actually, if you've ever watched Gavin and Stacey, that is South Wales' really strong Welsh accent, and it will be, oh yes, let's go down to the Rhondda Valley and let's go and do all this, that, and the other.
Well, whereas, okay, all right, let me stop you. I was just checking to make sure you're from the British Isles, okay? Because a lot of Americans, like I have probably 80% of my family at some point we kind of trace it back to the early 1700s, came from Ireland, and they're the Scots Irish, the northern Scots and the Irish who kind of mixed. And but so we always say, well, I'm Irish, well, I'm Welsh, I'm a Scot or whatever, and we're really not. We couldn't, so I was checking your accent, and you're actually there, brother. That's cool. What's going on? So where do you actually live?
I live in a little seaside town, touristy town on the North Wales coast.
Okay.
In between Rhyl and Llandudno.
Your accent's beautiful, by the way. I love it. I actually auditioned for an audiobook, and the writer's actually a Welsh writer. He's from Wales, and for some reason, I didn't look at the accent that he required. Of course, you can hear my accent. I'm an American. It's called American Southern accent in general. And he wanted a Scot or a Welsh or I forgot what the other. I think people who live in northern England, I know there are different accents even all over England by itself. If you live in Yorkshire or some other place, your accents are totally different. But he wanted, and I sent him an audition for his book in my southern accent, and then I saw what accent he was wanting. I think, oh man, I feel like such a dumbass. He's just gonna laugh at me because I us guys, we don't read all the instructions, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so obviously you watch the channel. What's got you interested in Bigfoot?
Well, I've always been interested in weird and wonderful. I think it's just the nature of me.
Yeah.
It starts with UFOs as well, and all them, and I'm interested in stories like that. But when you've had your own encounters, then you become a bit more of a believer and knower.
Right.
And me and my partner were on the way home from the hospital one day, and we saw strange lights in the sky. And even she was, what's that? We had no engine noise or anything like that. But then I've been walking with a friend a lot lately, over the past couple of years, and he's actually had an encounter with a Bigfoot. Now, a lot of people will be surprised to hear that there's Bigfoot, even dogmen around here, but
Right.
there is a website. I don't know the details of it, but they do have all the sightings reported. But the one that my friend encountered, I think he sent the story off to another YouTuber. I think it was Buckeye Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Good old Nance.
Yes.
And his story was the one where he was tying his shoelace up, happened to look up, in the middle of the path was Bigfoot. He kept himself down, raised his eyes up just a little bit and held his hand out. And the Bigfoot actually responded. Took him a few minutes, but they touched fingertips.
Oh, okay.
And from what he described, 7.5 to 8 foot, brownish, reddish hair, toned. And I've been on walks with him, and I've heard the noises, and I've heard the Ohio-ish sounds, but it sounds like it's got its own Welsh accent, weirdly. And I have seen myself, and my friend always prefers to go up with me because he feels that he's got a better connection.
Right.
But there's times when I've walked along that path and I've forgot all about it, and I've seen a stone roll onto the path, and even my friend's dog's ball that went missing in the woods rolled up out onto the path. So I threw it back and it came back to me. So I think one of the things that I've done for my own little bits of research and things is, around here, obviously, we're not as a gun culture as it is in America.
Right.
So they haven't learned to fear as much over here, but they still fear. And where I am, it's a pretty small town, less than 30,000 people, in a 7-8 mile range.
Right.
So it's pretty, I can literally walk 10 minutes and I'm in the countryside. So.
Okay. So can I back you up a little bit? So you've seen this creature too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. And he wrote the story and sent it to Nance. That story sounds familiar. It's almost like I've read that story. I don't know that I've done it on my channel. Excuse me. But it seems like I've read through that story and I was going to come to it. Do you know if he sent it to me as well?
He said he's only sent it to Nance.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. And she actually did it on her podcast.
Yeah, I think she read it 8 or 9 months ago. And I asked him, why didn't you send it to Dixie? And he was like, I didn't know there was a Dixie channel until I told him.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, right. So he's catching. So when I spoke to him last, he was catching up on all your videos and all the stories. And then he's going to email it and send it over to. Very
good. Well, thanks I was joking. I mean, I know a lot of people haven't heard of my channel, but well, listen, those are, that's interesting. I like the, we talk about Bigfoot a lot, but I'm also really interested in the UFO stuff. Now, I don't have time to read all the information that the United States government is releasing. However, they're coming quite public with a lot of the things that they don't understand, that they kept hidden for decades. And I want to catch up on that, but the UFO phenomenon is very interesting to me. Very interesting. So, well, listen, Dan, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to get back to some comments here, but I really appreciate you chiming in and taking advantage of this. Isn't this the coolest thing? This just blows my mind. I mean, I can send you a link, and immediately you and I are talking. You're across the Atlantic Ocean, and we're on live, and there are almost 500 people listening to us talk. It's unbelievable technology, isn't it?
And it's only 3 minutes past midnight here, so
Yeah. How old are you, Dan?
I'm 36.
36. Well, I'll be 60 next year. So you can imagine how crazy this technology is to me. And there's a lot of people my age who are like, oh, I ain't gonna learn all it. There's no way I can learn that stuff. You can learn this stuff. If I can learn it, I'm the dumbest. I'm dumb as a box of rocks. And if I can learn it, you can learn it. So I'm not talking to you, Dan. I'm talking to, hypothetical people. But there's someone here I want to address in the comments. So I'm going to cut you loose. But thank you for coming on, Dan. I really appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas. Okay.
And you.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye. Okay, Dan from Wales. How about that? I can't believe that. Okay, I see a comment here. Gwendolyn Williams is one of the lovely people, one of the lovely women who watch my channel, and she's always so sweet in the comment section. She's going through an awful episode of I can't even pronounce that, but she's having some pain and some swelling, and she says she's happy to get on. Gwen, I love you, and I appreciate all your comments, and Merry Christmas, and I hope you're okay by tomorrow, feeling better for Christmas, and you can enjoy your holiday. And so I just wanted to say that. Somebody's got up here, Cam the Hitman Buckner. Oh, I like that. The Hitman. I'm the Hitman. Okay. All right. I'm really not a hitman. I just thought that was funny. Anybody would call me a hitman. I'm a big sissy. All right. Anybody else want to come on? We've only been on 48 minutes. For people who are just tuning in or don't know really what's going on here, I just came on to kill some time. I haven't done this in 6 months or so. I thought I would come on. And then it occurred to me that there I go with my hands again. See, look, I'm doing my hands again. I thought it would be cool if somebody just wanted to come on and just shoot the bull. I can send you a link. You come right on. You have to have a webcam. You have to have, some way to hear and speak. You can do it with your cell phone. And what it is, you send me an email, tell me you want to come on to dixiecryptid@gmail.com. I'll send you a link back. You click on the link and you're on here, and then I bring you onto the screen and we talk. So we've had one person who's had a camera and two people that are only audio, but audio's okay. I mean, that just means you just have to look at my ugly mug, and we may not have anyone else come on, and that's cool. But I just thought that was, I honestly didn't think anybody would bite on that, but we've had 3 people do that. And heck, we may do this again. Now, this is kind of fun. This is a live show that I could do as long as people are coming in and kind of giving me a hand and helping out and stuff like that. So Neoma was on with me the last 2 times, I think. I don't know if she's watching. I didn't tell her I was coming on because I really didn't know I was coming on until about 5 minutes before I came on. That's kind of how I do lives. I text my wife. I said, she's inside cooking for Christmas. And so she don't want me in there. I'll just be in her way. She's got all the dogs in there, and I'll just be in there picking at stuff. And she said, I think she's okay with me being out here. Neoma, you want to come on? Let me send you a link. Let me know in the comments there. I see your comment. Or if you're busy, you may be busy, you may have family in, I don't know. Neoma has a new YouTube channel. And she's I think she's having fun with it. So who knows? Who knows? I think she is. Okay, we got another email. Chris says, he goes, I'll join you on the program. I have a webcam and earphones. You've told a couple of my stories from Tallahassee. All right, Chris, hang on. I've got another one. If you've sent me an email, just hang on. I'm gonna get a link. I'm gonna send it to this guy. There you go, Chris. Oh, here's someone. All right, I've got 3 people standing by that I'm waiting on them to come on. I'm gonna send everyone a link, and we'll pull you in one at a time. And so when you click the link, you'll come in the studio and you'll be able to see me on your phone, I think. Just hang on until we get through with the person in front of you. So all right. So what we're going to do now, we've got 4 people. Okay. Well, Stan said his cell phone, his kids destroyed his cell phone. That's why he didn't have a camera. It's okay if you don't have a camera and you don't want to show your face. It's fine. It's not a big deal. You know, I'm so easy. I'm just easy peasy. There's one more. All right. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm going to send links to these folks. You guys click the links. Whoever pops up here first, I'm going to bring him in. We're going to talk. And we'll just, okay, here's Chris from Tallahassee. Now, let me say this before I bring him in. If I have sent you a link and you come in, and just because you're not on the screen doesn't mean I don't see you down here. You're just on standby. And we'll talk to Chris for 5, 6, 8 minutes, and then we'll go to someone else if other people come in. Hey, Chris, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Cam.
You doing all right, man?
Yeah, good talking to you.
What's happening in Tallahassee?
Good. I got an echo. I'm not sure. Oh, I know what it is.
It's probably because you have the YouTube thing up.
Yeah, let me.
Just mute it. You can mute it, and it'll be okay. If I have sent you a link, there you go. Oh. Well, Chris got off. Click that link again. Okay, I'm gonna bring somebody. Chris disconnected. I'm gonna bring a Red Wolf in for a minute. Hey, man, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey, brother. Where you from, Red Wolf?
I'm from Mobile.
Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's cool, man. What's going on? We got some audio problems going on. Are you going outside to get a better signal?
Yeah, I see that.
Are you there? Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
I gotta say, I think it's multiple people in at the same time might be causing that. I'm not sure.
I don't have anybody else. You're the only one I have up right now. So what's going on, man? How did you what's your interest in Bigfoot?
Yeah, man, you was I've been interested in the topic for a little bit. You was the first dogman story I ever heard. It's the one with the older gentleman. He was in the tree stand and his buddy. His buddy, and, I guess when the dog man killed his buddy, and the old man vowed to get that dog man back.
That kind of freaked me out.
But I've been interested in the topic ever since. That was a creepy one, man. But, I've been pretty interested in studying it, learning. Been out in the woods myself, investigating a little bit. Found some signs, some Bigfoot signs and stuff like that at my house.
Okay. That's cool, man. I was going to tell you, my family, we went down to Fort Morgan for vacation this summer, and we went all through Mobile. We took the ferry back instead of going around the other side of the bay. We took the ferry across and came straight up to Mississippi through Mobile. Man, that's a beautiful town. I just love Mobile, Alabama. Do you live in the city or out in the country?
So I live pretty much rural city. I live in Wilmer. Matter of fact, there's a possum running down the road now. Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
Stray
really?
dog.
That's
This ain't
awesome.
even this is not even my dog. It's some stray dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, middle
Give
of
it a
nowhere, man.
cheeseburger. Feeder should never leave.
Yeah, that's what my wife. I've been sneaking her a few things, but my wife is pretty mad about that. She don't want it to hang around.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. I get that too. I was up in town eating this week. I stopped in and got a biscuit one morning. I was starving. And there was this mama blue heeler. You could tell she had puppies somewhere. And man, she was just starving. And I was pitching her. I went through the drive through again and got 2 biscuits, and I was pitching her biscuits and sausage and stuff. And I almost picked her up and brought her home. And my wife said, "If you bring another dog home, I'm going to shoot you." And that's all there is to it. So,
Yeah, I want another dog. I mean, obviously this belongs to somebody that's got a harness on it, but
yeah.
ain't nobody. It's been running with another stray dog, so I'm assuming it got lost or abandoned or something. But
Yeah.
I killed a couple of deer the other day, and it's pretty much been cleaning up the leftovers from that.
Hey, tell me about your deer down there. Our deer up here in North Mississippi? It's like this. If you go 60 miles north to the Tennessee state line, the deer get real big, thick necks and huge racks. But all the deer here are little. It's like a genetic pool that's not.
Mm-hmm.
We've killed several does. Our doe limit this year is 9 or 10.
Okay.
We can kill like 10 does. We're so overpopulated with them, and that might be why they're small. But they don't have the genetics for big racks. They just have, like most of the deer. Like there was a deer I was getting on a trail cam for the last 2 years, and he had horns that were probably 14 or 16 inches long, and they was like a spike, one horn coming out of each side, and that was it. I don't know a lot about them. I mean, I'll kill them for meat. We kill a couple 3 every year just for the freezer. But and I just walk right out the back here, and I have a stand set up back there, and one of the kids will go back and kill one, or my daughter-in-law actually killed one this week. And so I was going to ask you the size of your deer down there. Are they big bull swamp donkeys, or are they smaller? What's the size of deer y'all have?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think we live too far apart. So I live in the Alabama Mississippi line, and our deer the same way, a lot smaller. So like the ones I killed yesterday was I killed a doe and a yearling. That's the first time I've been back hunting in 6 years. And I just shoot for meat too. So I saw 2. I had my 300 blackout AR. And I had a red dot, and I took my son hunting for the first time. So I was kind of, teaching him the ropes, and I was going to have him record it for me and whatnot, just so, he could always go back and watch it or whatever. And the deer, she winded me. So I could tell she winded me. She didn't blow or nothing, but she put her ears back and looked down and turned around. And when she turned around, the yearling turned around. So I didn't take much time. I just throwed up, and I hit her in the shoulder, and then I hit the yearling on a full-blown, just running, right? Just full-blown running to the corner. And I let it, not much. I just put it on the front of his chest and dropped her. I ain't even gonna lie, I was pretty proud of myself, because I ain't been hunting in 6 years, man. I mean, and that's the first time I've ever used a red dot on my AR. And I was pretty impressed with it. I think I like the idea of running an AR for a deer rifle. But our deer are pretty much the same size. I grew up in over there on a panhandle. There's a few big bucks out there on the Chocolahatchee River. I've seen quite a few big ones out there. Big 10 points. big old deer. Probably roughly 250, around 250 pounds, 220. Every now and then you get a one about 280. It's rare, but there's a few
Ooh,
big ones.
That's a big deer.
They
Yeah.
rare, man. It's rare to see one that big.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot a doe in around Alabama, Florida line. That doe was probably about 240. It was a big girl. That was when I was younger.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I thought you said you lived in Mobile, Alabama.
I do. I live in so Mobile. I use Mobile because that's the closest reference point.
Yeah.
But I'm north of Mobile. So if you run up 98, I live right there close to, like, I literally probably 6 miles to Mississippi line. You know what I mean? So, and Mobile's about 30 miles behind me, 20, 25.
Well,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
way up north I'm like almost in Tennessee. So
Okay.
we're about 5 hours apart, but I come through Mobile every time we go down there. So, and that
Yeah.
Gulf Coast area, that's my favorite place to go. So,
Man, I wanna redfish it. So I just got into redfish because I lived in Jacksonville, Florida for, I'd say, a good 10 years. And I was just a big bass fisherman. That's all I do is just largemouth, man. And I caught some big ones out here in Florida. But I've been wanting to get into reds, so I was excited about moving to Mobile. I'm like, I'm gonna get me a boat, all that stuff, because I heard there's some good reds out here. So I'm probably gonna start getting into that.
that's awesome. Hey, if you get into them, I'm gonna come fishing with you, man.
Right on, man. Hey, I just want to give you props, man. I enjoy your show, man, and I'd say you were probably one of the first channels, you and How to Hunt, that I first got into, and then I started watching a lot of different channels. I'm just kind of stuck to about 3 or 4, so I'm only subscribed to like you and about maybe 4 other places, but
Okay.
I definitely enjoy your content, and you do a really good job, and I like the idea how you're skeptical, but you've heard enough stories that you're kind of like, there's something going on, and I like your attitude. You're just cool, and I know you didn't mean to do it like big like this, but you're doing a good job, man.
I ain't gonna lie about it. I mean, I could tell you a lie that I've seen one and all this stuff, but I'd forget and I wouldn't remember all the details and somebody'd catch me. So I just tell the truth and just leave it like that. But well, man, Red Wolf, thank you for watching the channel. I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas. I got Chris from Tallahassee. He and I got disconnected, but he's waiting on the
Babe, you're live, man. So you better get on out of here.
Is she upset about the dog?
Get the dog away from my house now.
Yeah, she's mad because I've been
Let
petting
that dog in. Let that dog in, and y'all fix that dog some cheeseburgers. Come on.
I'm finna slam this door.
Oh man, it's really nice to meet you. You guys have a Merry Christmas and keep in touch, brother. I'd love to hear from you some more.
All right, next time you do something live, man, I hit you up. You have a good day. Hey, blessings to everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. His wife got hacked off because I said, come on, let that dog in. Give that dog some cheeseburgers. You give dogs cheeseburgers, they're never going to leave. If you want the dog, if you don't want the dog, don't feed them. Don't feed them. But okay. Oh, Chris went away. I know I didn't boot him. Man, he has come in and then he has come in and we lost contact. I hope he comes back on because I've got here he is. Okay. All right, there you are. Did I boot you off?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Back. I was trying to get Red Wolf off, and you could tell I don't do this any. So Chris from Tallahassee, where were we?
We're all homeboys because I worked at Fort Morgan for 2 years, and tell you a story there. My coworker and I, we were both from Florida, but we were working at Fort Morgan, and we were just sitting in the casemates one day, and a guy comes in. This is early in the morning, and my friend and I, we knew what Florida Panthers look like. Well, this guy who comes in, he's from Florida too, and he's a photographer, and he said one just crossed the road coming into the park.
Oh, wow.
And he knew what it was. I mean, when it has a 3-foot long tail, it's not a bobcat. So,
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
I bet.
But,
So, do you live in close to Fort Morgan?
when I worked there, I lived right inside the park in one of the 100-year-old houses they have there.
Okay.
Now I'm in Tallahassee. I hadn't been back to Fort Morgan in a few years, but
Yeah, I asked you that question there, right there in your name, Chris from Tallahassee.
it was a long ways from anywhere, 22 miles to Gulf Shores, and so we were out there on the island, we said. And then I went and worked down in the Everglades for 10 years. And then I've been here in Tallahassee for 8 years. So I've moved around.
So would I be encroaching on your yard if I ask you what you do?
I work now in the State Archive building, archiving documents. But it's like a pig in a poke because I'm also a historian. I've written 3 books on the Seminole War. So,
Really?
It's it's where I want to be for now. Even though it was hard to get out of the woods, now it's hard to be around people now. But hey, that's what I got to do.
Do you do any? I don't want to dominate the conversation here, but you just really piqued my interest, and so you're an actual historian.
Well, more as a hobby, not so much professionally. But I've done the historical reenactments of mainly the Seminole period, but all different periods of history.
I've mentioned actually in this podcast that I am so interested in the Spanish influence and the conquistadors that came through Mexico, Central South America, and especially Hernando de Soto, who landed in Florida, wound up here, and died up here. And are you familiar with the history of that expedition?
Yeah, we have the DeSoto Trail in Florida that has about 40 different kiosks all over the state. In the news a few months ago, they think they found where the Battle of Mobilia was in Alabama. The Mobilia fighting against DeSoto, and DeSoto almost lost. There is quite a devastating battle for both sides.
Yeah, Tuscaloosa was the chief's name, and after they burned I've read all about it's so fascinating to me. And after that battle, I think it was in November, and it was freezing cold. And when in that fire, a lot of his crews, a lot of his soldiers' clothes burned up, a lot of the horses burned up. They went without clothes for several days until they found a village somewhere where they could rob some. Are you familiar with all that?
Yeah. One of my favorites is the Navarez expedition, or Cabeza de Vaca.
Right.
400 Spaniards land in Tampa Bay, and 8 years later, 4 of them walk into Mexico City, and those were the survivors.
That's right. Yeah.
But there's a movie made. It's in Spanish, of Cabeza de Vaca wandering through the Southwest, and he becomes like a holy man among the people. He doesn't eat, and he just goes around. He has rudimentary medical skills and heals the people along the way, so they consider him a holy man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fascinating.
I just love, I don't know why I love the history, the Spanish conquest for some reason, and especially Hernando de Soto. He tried to talk Cabeza de Vaca and coming with him and assisting him on his expedition, but de Vaca would not do it because he knew what kind of man Soto was, and so he begged off of that. And that guy came up here. I've actually got it written down. Listen, I want you to listen to this. I make notes, and I make notes so I can remember these things. Here is what the historian, one of the men who wrote the account of the expedition said: "Attend to the deeds of this ill-governed governor, Hernando de Soto, instructed in the school of, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Pedreras de Avila, in the debauchery and destruction of the Indians of Castilla del Oro, graduate in the number of natives of Nicaragua, and canonized in Peru according to the order of the Pizarros. Shaking himself free of those hellish paths, he went to Spain, loaded down with gold, but neither as a bachelor nor a married man could he rest, nor did he know how to, without returning to the Indies, to spill human blood, not content with the blood he had already spilled, and to exit this life in the manner to be related, and causing so many sinners, deceived by his empty promises, to be lost with him." That's written by a guy named Gonzalo Fernandez de Ovida Valdez, who was on the expedition. In other words, they hated him and they kept going with him. And he was here for 3 years, and he died on the Mississippi River on the Arkansas side. And of course, they were looking for gold, and the Indians the native people here had no idea why he was here. They couldn't figure out why he was here.
Yeah.
They didn't understand the concept of the value of gold. And so many, anyway, I could talk about this for hours, and I don't want to dominate that. But you said when you talked about Seminoles, I knew that, and I don't know if the Seminole tribe was in existence in the 1540s. I guess they were.
It was Seminole tribe, as we know them today, is formed together during historical times. Now the people and the culture survived, but the tribe we know as the Seminoles is roughly about 200 years old.
Right.
So
they're effectively they're a contemporary tribe of native peoples.
Yeah. Now, one of my Seminole friends told me a story about the Spanish arriving on the shore in Florida. He said, they went out one morning and there's just the foam on the beach, and then they came back a little later and there's crabs running around, those little fiddler crabs.
Yeah.
Then they came back later in the afternoon, and the Spaniards were there with the big metal helmets, and they thought that was the crabs that transformed into people.
Oh yeah.
And that's a story they have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating. Buddy Levy, I don't know if you've read any of his stuff, but he has a book on Cortez. He has one called River of Darkness, which is, I can't remember the explorer's name, but he was one of the Pizarro brothers, second in line, and the guy who, traversed the entirety of the Amazon River. And there's another story where he traversed the whole Amazon River. He comes back and he dies on the Amazon because he knew there was so many riches there. And fascinating story. Anyway, Buddy Levy, if anybody's interested in a real good narrative, they're not footnoted and all this stuff. That's just a good narrative, kind of like Shelby. Who's the guy who wrote the Civil War? His books are right back there, and I can't see his name. But they're just narratives. They're just good historical narratives. But anyway, I could talk about that stuff all day. So, Chris, why did you want to come on? Now that I've taken up all your time on.
Well, you've told two of my stories so far, and like one, I was in Arizona in the Army, and I was taking the kids out on a hike at night, and they run into a javelina and come running back, and the more they describe, the bigger it gets, there. So, but another one you read not too long ago, right after I got out of the Army, this is about 30 years ago, we were camping along the scout camp in the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we were actually, I guess, on camp property. In fact, I heard a lady last night on another program talking about some Bigfoot experiences she had. Might have even been nearby. So I got sick one day, so I went back to the main camp, and like the next day I was all over it. So I came back to the group, and they're a few miles up the mountain, and we were at a power line cut and camping out with the tents, backpacking. And I knew there was like some private property, like we're on the camp boundary. So, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw anyone else, which we didn't at the time. So we set up, and I'm right on the edge of the woods with the power lines above. And it's late at night, and I had just gotten out of the Army. So I was in real great shape, and I could tell when somebody's sneaking up. So I hear somebody sneaking up there, like on two legs. I figure it's a local hillbilly that's out poaching raccoons or something. And it's like I can hear him coming up and laying down. And I knew all that because that was me, when I was in the Army. That's something I would do. I'm used to sneaking up on and scared people. So, it's like something I would do, but he like stays there, and it's about midnight. So I get to the point I got to go out and relieve myself. So, and I figure I'll let him know I'm there and flash around my flashlight. So I get up and get out of my tent, and I hear a pop, it sounded like a rifle shot or something. And I talked to everyone the next day, and nobody else heard it. And then I hear the guy running off, tearing through the woods. Now it's pitch black. There's no moon out that night. So I'm thinking, damn, that guy's good. Whoever that is, it's running away on 2 feet, and it just didn't make sense to me until like 28 years later that might have been a Bigfoot there.
Yeah.
And another time when I was living in the Everglades one night, I was in my trailer, and about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm living 2 miles out in the swamp. Nobody else is out there. I hear on my back window, which is the trailer's elevated, so the window is about 7 or 8 feet off the ground. I hear a tap, 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 like fingernails tapping on the window, and I don't see anything out there. And I figure I'm going to face what it is and run out there, and don't see anything. But when I lived out there, the grass going from the cypress dome up to my back window, I hardly ever had to mow that grass because it was all trampled down, like something was coming out and looking in my windows at night. I figure I must have been some entertainment for them or something. They must have told me to change the channel or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I remember those stories.
Yeah.
They're very interesting. So do you get out and look for them much?
No, strange thing is, before my dad passed away, he came up to me one day and said, I want me to promise me something. And it was kind of strange for him to do that. So he said, just promise me one thing. I said, okay. And he says, whatever you do, don't go out looking for those things.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And I promised him that. And so I don't really go out looking for them. I mean, I just happen to be living in their area and knowing they're there. But I don't know why he had me promise that or what spurred him to say that, because I never knew if he ever saw one or something.
Yeah.
It just seems strange. So,
yeah.
But I have a lot of Native friends, and they all know about them too.
Right.
The little people and the big people. If you get in their confidence, they'll tell you they know somebody who's seen them, or one of their relatives, or maybe they themselves, or they have a story.
Yeah. That's interesting. All right, Chris. Well, thanks for coming on. I told I'd give everybody 5 minutes, and I'm giving everybody about 20. So,
okay.
And Neoma Finn's kind of waiting on the sideline, so I'm going to cut you loose and let her in here.
Thanks. I love hearing to everyone here. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, Chris, to
Yep.
you and your family.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey.
I didn't strong arm you into doing this. I've been talking to people and I didn't see if you really wanted to come in or not.
It's all right. I just finished uploading a video and I was going to send you a quick email to say, hey, if you feel like mentioning that.
Okay.
And I saw the link. So what the heck?
Well, put the link for it. Can you put the link for it in this comment section?
I'm not sure if I can or not.
I will. I'll do it.
Yeah, I know how I can do it. I can do it on YouTube. If I get a little back talk for a second, I apologize.
Just mute it. Mute the sound on your screen.
It'll take me just
So while she's doing that, I'll tell you guys, Neoma Finn has her own channel now, and she's a great storyteller. I'll let her explain more, but I'm just trying to fill in gaps here while she's clicking around. She's researching these weird stories in different places, and she's making them really come alive, and I've enjoyed. She has 4 or 5 videos up so far, and while I've been working my butt off. I haven't talked to you much, but I got a big slug in of work that I had to knock out the last couple of weeks, and so while I'm sitting here, she's got a new video up, and I'll sit and listen to that, and along with a lot of other stuff. So you've been kind of my go-to story person.
Oh, that's so cool. You're my go-to story person too.
You know what? I don't think I rate up there with Mr. Ballin with you in April.
You know what? You do.
I think she's like, have you seen Mr. Ballin? I'm like, don't you be talking about him. I'm the story guy, not him. Of course, he only gets like 50 million views per
I
video.
know, right? I only catch about half of his. Sometimes, I was talking to April, and I'm going to use my microphone so it works better. Sorry for the noise. I was talking with April, and I realized I hadn't watched him for a couple of weeks, and I thought, wow, how did I do that? Because, I go to Dixie Cryptid first.
You know what? I'm joking about him, but he is the best storyteller I have ever seen. He is so good. It's unreal. And he's just one of these, you know what? I'll listen to him talk, and I can picture him being with his SEAL team and them going, would you just shut the F up? He's probably one of these guys that just talks all the time. And I can tell that I can almost see them going, just shut the F up. Just leave us alone. So
absolutely. But at the same time, he's the kind of guy you want to be with on a long road trip because he'll keep you entertained.
Oh yeah.
So
I agree. Okay, so tell everybody about your channel.
Well, my channel is it's just a storytelling channel. It's about, I like to research things like the 2 stories I did on What If It's True, the White Bluff Screamer here in Tennessee, and the werewolf of Montgomery Bell State Park.
Yeah.
And that stuff is what interests me. And I like to sit down and research it and learn all about it. And so what I usually do is I spend a day looking it up and getting a bunch of information. And then I just sit down and I tell the story, kind of like Mr. Ballin does. And only instead of telling it to my cell phone and then putting it into a video, because I don't want this on the screen all the time.
Right.
I write it down, and then I find as much of background information as I can to put on the screen. Sometimes I can't find any. And then I tell the story, because there are some really interesting things out there that, the first one I did was the 3 hangings of Cal Logsdon. And who knew that 50 or 75 miles from my house was a guy who was hung 3 times and left a curse on the whole county that left it flooded.
That's my favorite story you've done so far. It was so good. I was like, what is going on? I had never heard any of it before. So
Fortunately, my husband travels around Tennessee all week, and he's the one that found that story for me. But how fascinating was that?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
thought people need to hear this, and I need to tell it because I can't ever keep my mouth shut.
Right. Hey,
So
so everybody, the name of her channel is, tell her one.
Neoma Finn, just
There you
plain
go.
old Neoma Finn.
Just you see her name on this screen, type it in your search. I will, if you'll look at my community post, I've posted a couple of her videos there. I've posted her on Facebook. I'm trying to think of all the ways, but you can just type in the search bar Neoma Finn. She's getting enough attention right now. Usually on YouTube, it takes 6 months for, like, when I would go search for Dixie Cryptid, I was just seeing if my channel would pop up early on, and it took 3 or 4 months for it to ever come up. When I did a search, my channel, not a video would come up, but not the whole channel. But you're doing so well, Neoma. If you type in Neoma Finn, the words that are right there on that screen, her channel's right there at the top. You can click and subscribe from right there. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's kind of one of those tests that when I know people who have started a channel, if I can just in the search bar search for the name of the channel, and when it pops up, the algorithm's got you, and there's, it recognizes your channel. Sometimes it took me, I know it took 3 to 5 months for mine to ever come up. So
Wow.
yeah, so you're famous now. You're a superstar. You're a superstar.
And you're a rock star.
I'm gonna look at, there are like 1,000 comments that have gone by, and I can't watch them, but somebody, okay, there it is. They were asking what the name of your channel was. Neoma Finn. Okay.
No.
All right.
Plain old Neoma Finn. I couldn't come up with a clever name, so and my name is weird enough.
Yeah. So type in, like, minimize this, type in Neoma Finn in your search bar, and just go ahead and hit subscribe when you see her channel pop up. Then you can go back later and watch her videos. Look, this isn't a ploy. This woman knows how to tell a story. She knows how to write. She knows how to tell a story. And she's so busy with it, I'm not getting any edited stories from her.
I know. I've got a bunch of them sitting in my folder. I'll tell you what, I may as well have edited for you yesterday and the day before, because every time I started to record these people next door, I don't know. I thought the house was done. I think yesterday and the day before they tore it back down. I don't know what they're doing over there, but it was loud. Yeah. And I wound up sitting up until about 2:00 this morning recording to get this done. So I'm just going to have to edit for you during the day and record at night. And that's all there is to it.
I'm fine. As soon as we get off here, I've got a video already uploaded. It's a Christmas story video. It's not a Bigfoot video, but I love good Christmas stories. And I found 3 that I just I just kind of stumbled on them on the internet. Now, I know you're not supposed to do that, but these were so good. I actually emailed one of the women who wrote the first story, and I said, look, I'd like to narrate this on my channel. I need your blessing before I do this. And I said, but you have to get back with me in the next 24 hours, or I'm just going to put it up. So if the woman sees if she wants to put me in copyright jail, go right ahead. I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail for that story. It was so good. And so anyway, after this, I'm going to click public. I didn't want to release a video and do a live thing at the same time. So anyway, I'm just running my mouth. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's pretty cool. You know what? That's so funny. You always say that. And yes, yet you have been my number one go-to person for advice for a year now. And oh, by the way, because I'm so good at remembering things, I've known you for a year now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not big on dates, but I got your email the other day. I was like, has it been a year? It doesn't seem like a year, does it?
No, it seems like just a few months. And at the same time, it feels like I've known you my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like a brother.
She's my sister.
Yeah.
Let me say this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Denise Snyder.
I know that person.
Yeah, she's wanting to come on, but Denise and everyone else who I haven't responded to, we've been on an hour and a half, and I'm not going to go much longer because well, there's still a bunch of people in here watching. I guess we can stay on a little while, but I want to go in and eat, play with my dogs, and I've been watching Quentin Tarantino movies.
I love Quentin Tarantino.
Yep. I came across an interview he did on Joe Rogan back this summer, and I've been wanting to watch it, and I haven't. And you know, when he first started putting out his movies are different. I mean, they're quite
they're non-linear.
Yeah, when he came out with Reservoir Dogs, that kind of movie we were coming out of the 80s when movies were pretty sanitized and the religious right was, you had all this moralistic stuff. There go with my hands again. This moralistic stuff going on, and people wouldn't make movies like that because they offended people. And Harvey Weinstein, the guy that's just recently gone to prison or whatever. He was the guy who was he was dealing with a lot, and Weinstein would tell him, you need to take this out of this movie, and he'd go, this is my movie, I'm leaving it in. If people don't like it, they can freak out or whatever. And this is all coming to a point here. And so, like, I'm about to release a Christmas. As soon as we get off, I'm going to make it go public. And so I'll have it's an hour-long video. It's got 3 Christmas stories. None of them are Bigfoot stories. One is a chapter from an audiobook was just released this week. So I'm trying to promote that. But people get upset because, we just want to hear Bigfoot stuff, You know what? It's my channel. I'm putting it up there because I love good Christmas stories, and I found 2 are contemporary. One is kind of a classic. And anyway, I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. I want to go in and watch. I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night. Have you seen that yet?
I love that. In fact, I was just thinking, Brad promised me about a week ago we'd sit down and watch it again. I'm going to make him do that tonight. I love that movie.
Brad Pitt's not one of my favorite actors, but he is superb in this role, especially when he fights
at the end.
Well, that, and he fights Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah.
It's hysterical. It is hysterical. And Tarantino took a lot of grief over the Bruce Lee depiction that he had in his movie. Mm-hmm. But so I'm wanting to watch Inglourious Bastards tonight. I'm going to work my way forward. I'm going to try to. There's one that he did that I really didn't like, Django. I don't know. For some reason, I really didn't like that one, but I'm going to watch it again. But.
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah, I'll come up with one I didn't like in a minute. It's funny because my husband is not a big fan, and it's hard for me to get him to sit down and watch one. But he really does love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'm pretty sure he would love Inglourious Bastards. And I've got both of them on. I'm old-fashioned. I buy things on CD, and I have them physically in my hands. See, I do the hand thing too. I just have the camera up high enough you can't see my hands moving around when I talk.
I need to.
But I know he would love Inglourious Bastards too, and I so want him to watch that. But it's hard to get him to sit down it's hard to get him to sit down and watch anything that isn't music or documentary related. He wants to watch documentaries on the Who and things like that. But
does he like war films and stuff like that?
Somewhat. He likes action movies. Statham, what's his name?
Jason Statham.
Yeah. He likes Jason Statham movies and things like that, but really not necessarily war movies. But Inglourious Bastards is such a great movie, and Brad likes those. The way Once Upon a Time in Hollywood ended, and you go, yeah. He likes endings like that, and I'm telling you, I love the way Inglourious Bastards ends. That man deserved that swastika.
Oh yeah, and the shootout scenes and they're just so outrageous, that I don't know. It's because it's not typical. It's
Yeah.
like Steve Lilly. Steve Lilly is not your typical Bigfoot story, and that's why I enjoy doing them. And Tarantino's the same way. He's just not going to do your typical run of the mill movie. You know
No.
who does? You know who directs run of the mill movies? Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I love Clint Eastwood, and I loved him as an actor, and he is a great director. But the movies that he produces and directs they're just so cookie cutter. They're like, I don't know.
He's a one-shot director. He won't do multiple shots, and it drives his actors crazy.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks will never work with him again because he does one shot and he's done. And the actor will say, well, I don't think I did that quite right. Can we do another one? Nope. And they move on. And that's why his movies come across that way.
Yeah.
He had one that was had tons of accolades, and I think it was Gran Torino. I'm not sure. And I didn't care for it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I mean, the thing about Quentin Tarantino is he doesn't follow the rules.
Right.
He writes what the people, I mean, how many times have you walked out of a movie and thought, wow, that's really how I wanted it to end? Because it doesn't usually end up that way. It's usually, wow, well, I understood why it ended that way, but it broke my heart. Tarantino doesn't play that game.
No.
That's what makes him so cool. And that's what makes him so much better, I think, than everybody else.
The latest movie, Clint Eastwood, I think he directed it and he's in it, is Cry Macho. Wow, it's horrible.
Really? I haven't seen it.
Film. The actors are the best performance in the whole thing is some obscure woman. Well, there's actually two of them, two Mexican women who are having trouble. They're the sideline kind of wives that are women who are not really important to the story, but they're very important in this story because they do the best performances of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so Clint Eastwood is awesome. I love the movies he acted in. And one of my favorites is Where Eagles Dare, where him and Richard, I'm so horrible with names.
Me too.
Richard Burton, I think is his name. They go to Germany and they do this hit on. Anyway, I'm just rambling.
That's not the one that's a true story on what happened with the Swedish guys that came in and I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Clint Eastwood movies where Clint Eastwood stars in them. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Except for I didn't care for Gran Torino.
Yeah. I actually like that one. I thought that was pretty good, but I like his character in that one, I think.
Yeah, I think that was what saved it for me is I identified with the angry old man on the porch.
Yeah.
Because I am so becoming that angry old man on the porch.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still just 7 here. To all those people I didn't respond to, I'll do this again in the next couple of weeks, and I'll leave your I guess I'll leave your email in my inbox, and if you want to do it the next time we go around, then I'll send you a link. And we're just running out of time. That's the problem. So
yeah, I came on and I couldn't stop running my mouth. That's the way it always happens. It does.
No, that's why I wanted you to come on. Somebody come in and help me. So you were right there. But yeah, what did you think about this? Just having random people jump in. I don't know if the audience liked it or not, but it was just kind of spur of the moment. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes over.
Yeah, I think it's fun. You know me, I'm game.
You might ought to get like 4 or 5 in here and get some people pissed off at each other and get them going at each other. And
I'll come dressed as a referee.
I'll just sit back and let them call each other a son of a bitch and all this stuff. All right, guys. Well, let's see, Neoma. Thanks for doing this. I'm gonna boot you out, and
all right.
I'm gonna say, hey, check out the channel Neoma Finn. Anything else? Any parting words?
Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you a million for everybody that I know that you've sent over to my channel. You guys, Cam has the best followers, absolutely. There's nobody better than your people.
I will agree with that. The nicest, absolute nicest audience on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook now too. So, okay, thanks for helping me out, buddy. I love you.
I love you too.
All
Merry
right.
Christmas, Cam.
I'll talk to you tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Let's see. A few things I wanted to say. Right after I get off this live feed, I'm going to make the Christmas story video go live. So if you guys want to hear some Christmas stories, or click watch later so you can watch it later. It's a family friendly kind of Christmas story video. I found 3 really good stories, and there's a chapter from the latest audiobook I've got going. I can't think of anything else, but just to say thank you all for joining me. There's a little bit less than 500 people still in here, and I really appreciate all you guys. And like I said, I don't have any huge expectations when I do these live things. I just kind of do it on the spur of the moment. I guess I ought to broadcast it, but if I do that, then I have to do it. And if I have to do it, it's not as fun as just doing it spur of the moment. It's kind of the way I am. I always tell my wife, I'm like, I'll send her a text. She's just right. She's like 100 yards over there in the house. And I'll send her a text at 4:00 in the afternoon. Hey, or like at 2:00, I'll say, hey, you want to catch a matinee? Yeah. And so whoop, we jump in the car and we go all the way to Tupelo, and we'll watch a movie and get something to eat. Just spur of the moment. We like doing stuff like that, and it's fun for me. So I've seen 1,000 Merry Christmases on the comment section. Merry Christmas to everyone. I can't think of anything else to tell you guys. We've been on for an hour and 42 minutes right now. So I'm going to sign off, and all the people who wanted to come on, stand by. We'll do this again in the next couple of weeks, and send me an email then, and I'll send you a link and we'll get you on. I thought that was kind of fun, just kind of shooting the bull with people. We didn't talk about Bigfoot necessarily. We just talked about, history, where you live, what you doing, killing deer hunting, the size of deer in Alabama. We got to see Red Wolf's wife. I don't know if I made her mad or not, but she was cute looking out the door, and she was like, shut your mouth or something like that. When I said, let that dog in, she got hacked off, but I don't think she really got hacked off. But thank you all for coming on, and thank you for joining me. I'm going to sign off and wish you Merry Christmas. I love all of you, and we'll be back with Bigfoot stories right after Christmas, probably the day after Christmas. I'll put a video up. Steve Lilly before the first of the year. Yep. And I'm about to, as soon as I click off here, I'm going to release the Christmas story video. So you guys have a great holiday. I love you all. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay. Thank y'all.